All right, welcome to episode 12 of the Novice Sports Show. We've been on hiatus for the last couple of weeks, had life happen, because what? Life just happens. That's the way it is sometimes. But like I said, we got three guys that came together organically to talk about sports. Like I said, again, we trying to grow the channel. We need you to like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, thank you to the 19th subscriber, whoever you are. I couldn't find your name, but I give you a shout out when I find it, when I look for it, maybe. But like I said, when we get to 20, maybe I'll give you one too. But like I said, we're going to get into the intros. We got my man,
AJ.
and we got my man,
Jay.
and we got A-Dub. So on our last episode, we were talking a little bit about the Caitlyn Clark effect. I did note that, in our hiatus, we were, of course, had our pulse on everything. We did notice that, arenas were selling out, but it was only for, as Alan would point out, it's only for one game. And all the other players are like, we've been playing this game all our lives. This one chick comes along, now everybody want to watch. What's going on? The hate is real. And I will say this. Nobody likes a good guy. Everybody watches the heel for a reason. All that hate is bringing a lot of eyeballs to the sport, right? What you got on that?
So it doesn't make a difference whether they love you or whether they hate you. As long as they watching you,
That's the whole point.
that's the whole point.
Yep.
So all these people that are mad because Caitlyn's getting all this attention,
Mhm.
I get it. Your feelings are a little hurt, but you need to just sit back,
And-
open your pockets up,
Yep.
and collect some of this money that's about to come flowing
All
through.
that money.
Because you mess around and hate too much, you'll make people mad.
Yeah.
Or you mess around and say, oh, I'm gonna teach her a lesson, and then she gets injured, and then all them people that was selling out to come to
Betting
arena,
on it.
they ain't coming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? If they want to see her play, they want to see her play.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this the other day. So think about the NBA, right? NBA basketball has been going on since the 50s, right?
Yeah. Long time.
Nobody really cared, nobody really watched. The 70s, ABA, NBA was still rolling along. Nobody cared. The games weren't on TV much. Up into the 80s, the games were on tape delay. Still high level basketball going on. Still the best players in the world,
Mhm.
but nobody cared. You know when they started caring?
When they
When
had a-
Magic and Bird came in
Hold up,
and-
and they started that story when? In
in
college.
college.
When they played each other,
Yes.
Michigan State.
And they
against the
carried it in,
Indiana
yes.
Phoenix, And they carried it
so-
right on in.
Now, people talk about conspiracy theories.
Mhm.
This might be a conspiracy right here, right? So you got these two, they're both Midwest, but you got the black dude from the inner city,
Yep.
you got Michigan State, and you got
The farm.
Larry Bird, the farm boy, the hit from
All-American,
the hit
the
from
hit.
French Lick
Yep.
going against each other. Everybody loved it. I think that was like the highest rated,
It
might be
was.
still the
Yeah.
highest rated college
Yeah.
game or final. And then it just so happened, and again, the way it worked out was the Celtics drafted Bird before, back then you could do that. They drafted him before he came out.
Yeah.
So they had his rights. I still haven't figured out how the Lakers ended up with Magic. They were already a top team
Mhm.
and they get the number. I still don't know how that worked out.
Jerry
But
Buss worked it out. Backroom deal.
but just think about how just the world, how it worked out. You get Magic Johnson, flamboyant,
Yeah.
flashy, love to smile, love to have fun.
Mhm.
With the Lakers,
Showtime.
West Coast,
Yep.
they weren't even Showtime then,
About
they
to be.
became
So it's
Showtime.
about to be.
Versus all the way over on the East Coast,
Yep.
Larry Bird, Celtics, working class, white people.
Yep.
It's just a perfect storm, right?
Yep.
And then the NBA took off after that.
Yes, it
Because
did.
not only you got these two dudes that everybody wants to see, they're also really good.
Yep.
Their teams are really good.
Yep.
Their coaches are really good.
Yep.
And they're on the East Coast,
And the
West Coast, everything you want, right?
The premature East Coast, West Coast battle.
Yes,
Tupac and Biggie.
exactly. This was Tupac and Biggie before Tupac and Biggie. And it just took off from there, right? And then
Yeah.
Jordan came in and took it to the next level.
Yep.
So look at college basketball. Paige Beckers
Yeah.
broke all those records as a freshman.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Right.
Hold up.
There have been,
Was anybody watching?
Yeah.
yeah. Look,
No.
even before that, you had all these great female players,
yeah,
right?
Candace.
Candace Parker and
Maya Moore.
Holdsclaw, Maya Moore.
Yeah, all of them.
Nobody really cared because UConn and Tennessee just dominated everything, right?
Yep.
You knew one of them was going to win it. then along comes Caitlyn's breakout year when Paige got hurt. Nobody watched when she was a sophomore.
Nope.
Nobody cared.
Mhm.
But then you got the junior year
Yep.
when LSU, Iowa,
Yep.
Midwest, white, working class, black,
Yep.
inner city,
Yep.
in your face, perfect. Good guy, bad guy.
Yep.
Everybody was into that.
Yep.
I was into it big time. And then everything just perfect storm, right?
So within that, now that you're saying that, and I'm just thinking, I wonder if the marketing was already there, obviously, a little bit. But because of COVID, everything and social media just took off. Do you think that had an effect with,
Well,
because
no,
now
I
we're
think-
seeing clips of women's
No.
basketball on different platforms as
Well,
opposed
no, I don't
to
think it,
just
I don't think
TV.
that's what, I think what really did it was the fact that the heel embraced her role. Because it would have been, oh, whatever, but it's the fact that Angel Reese played into it and was like, this is an opportunity, not only for me to gain exposure too, but I don't think she was thinking more or less about the whole game. She was thinking about her opportunity.
Yeah.
Her
And
brand.
her brand. And when she did this, and when Caitlyn brushed old girl off at the 3-point line, go ahead, shoot your shot, that just played everything to, remember, that was the game before they played LSU. So that all fanned the fumes and that gave them, especially, think about it, think about when it happened, right? Because she was doing this all year.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody really paid any attention until that game. Then the next game, when they played LSU, that's when it just skyrocketed because again, you had the national media involved. And they found what? They found their story. They found their superhero.
They find anything controversial.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they fed off every bit of it.
They found their superhero, and then they found their the superhero's arch enemy. And of course, that played right into this year, right? Where they had to play each other in the semifinals.
And again,
or the quarter, whatever it is.
Yep, and we talked about that before.
They
You
love
think that was a coincidence?
that they put them
You
all.
could have put them anywhere, but
Yeah.
they just happened to slot. I mean, LSU was a 3 seed.
Yeah.
You just happened to slot them over there.
Yeah.
Again,
So they would meet.
smart. That's genius. I got no problem with that.
Oh, yeah. And again, as we always say, they love a great story.
Yeah.
And so do we.
And you
that's
had
a good
it,
thing.
and again, Kelsey Plum, we talked about this, Sheba had the record before. Nobody
Right.
even knew who Kelsey Plum was.
Yeah.
Caitlyn had the 3-pointer. She was shooting the logo threes.
Yep.
She had the flashy passes.
Right.
Yep.
So everything you want, right? She was kind of like she was like a cross between Pistol Pete and
Yeah.
Steph Curry, right?
Yeah, she
And
showed
and
up.
it just made, because that's one thing people always talk about is, well, the women's game might be fundamental, but it's boring. Caitlyn kind of made it less boring
Yeah.
because she's shooting these long threes.
That's where I think it goes back to kind of implement with the NBA. It needs to be fun to watch.
It needs to be fun to watch. 'Cause nobody cares.
The score needs to rock it up.
Yeah, nobody cares if it's just a bunch of people making layups.
Yeah, nobody cares about a game that's 52 to 60.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah, I
so that
know.
perfect storm here,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, everybody points at me.
Yeah, deep, Mr. Deep.
Yeah.
Down, lock them down.
But again, then that just carries over into now you got these eyeballs,
Yeah.
Right.
and what are you gonna do with it, right? And it just so happened they were able to come out at the right time. You got all this attention on Caitlyn being the #1 pick, where she's going, she's staying in the Midwest. We
Perfect.
sell out everything already, jerseys flying off the shelves,
Yeah.
shoe deal. She's on all these commercials.
Already.
Capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I will say, since we, like you said, we see the hate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do want to say I also should see the love from the Indiana team
Oh, yeah, the team is
embracing her and
Man, you better embrace her.
like I said,
yeah, just trying to help her along the way as opposed to making it harder for her.
No, okay, if from a business perspective, they have to capitalize on that too, because
Yeah.
think about it, when they drafted her, ticket sales went through the roof. Their preseason game, they had to open up a section to get more people in.
Right.
So that's just more money in their pockets.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So and all the other teams, I think one team, 19,000 seats have already sold.
And again, but it's when they play the
Yeah,
fever.
it's only when they play.
You know,
Fever,
I
and it's the
mean,
only time it's gonna happen,
yeah.
but though, Alan said something earlier, right? Remember, he said when the ABA first started, they were doing all these gimmicks to get everybody involved, and what they need to do is get all the kids involved. Because those are the eyeballs they're gonna need to develop and build that foundation for the whole league, because if not, once, think about it.
It may just come and go.
It'll be a flying fancy, they need to they really need to capitalize on all the players. They really need to play into the quote unquote Dennis Rodman bad boy versus whoever. And they need a series of villains, and maybe she needs a Robin, or she's a Batman, or she needs a Justice League, or, an X-Men team or something to get everybody still on it. Because
ultimately that's what everybody, they need to highlight the whole because I see they're highlighting a few individuals.
But again, that's what you got. That's the difference between the NFL and the NBA.
Yeah.
NFL is team and the shield.
Yeah.
NBA is
players.
individuals, players, right?
That's why you said, that's why, not the team, like I said.
A player league.
Player league. It's a player league. So
Yep.
like I said, Batman, Robin.
Yep.
You need that Robin, or you need that, who's Batman's name is this? The
Joker.
Joker. You need that Joker.
Yeah.
And see, and that's where I don't know
who it is, who's really on.
I don't know that they can right now. I don't see. So like when Taurasi was said, and again, it wasn't that big a deal, but we're trying to pump it up like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Taurasi been in the league. She's 40. She's been playing for 20 something years versus the rookie. And she's like, hey, it's a little different. You playing with grown women now.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin's like, okay, cool. Let's go for it.
Yeah. In her first.
So that's a good one. If you can get, if you can get that to be something, but team wise, you just have to be able to sustain it because right now nobody's really care. I mean, the Aces, they're back-to-back champions, right? Yeah. Asia Wilson, best player in the league. They were talking about, well, has Caitlyn got a shoe?
Yeah.
She hadn't even done anything yet.
2 years.
And I'm like,
we've been working on it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden somebody pops up and gets a shoe.
Yeah. Like,
hold up. What?
And then you announce it before come on now.
Again, but I mean, I get it. That was the thing. Everybody was saying, how come she should have one? She should have one. My point was getting shoe deals isn't about how good you are.
Yeah.
It's not about being the best player. It's about, is there demand and are there eyeball people that want to get your product, whatever your stuff is. I mean,
who's gravitating towards it?
Yeah.
Kids gravitate towards
yeah.
it.
And so hopefully her stuff is fire. They got a great logo. They do a big push because she's got everything you want. She's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, champion. She wrote a best-selling book.
Yeah.
She's got everything
She's
you
one of the
want.
dominant players.
Is she cute?
Bingo. They got to play up that end of it, right?
Just saying.
Because you watch how
Just
much
banging people.
you watch how many glamour shots they put on Caitlyn because they're gonna have to
Dress her up.
trying to keep her.
Yeah, that was, and actually,
because that was not one of her strong suits.
to throw something in there. I know there was kind of some backlash from Angel with some of that because she just attended the Met Gala, but she also played. But a lot of people didn't really like. They act like you don't have a life outside of
And
basketball.
again, that's people hate.
They like
But she ended up doing. She had like a double-double.
Again,
Like, what are we talking about?
preseason.
That's people hating on Angel because she went in and was all emotional about how the media is portraying her this way and they're sexualizing her. But then she kind of plays into it on the other end. And I'm like, she's a young lady. She can wear what she wants to wear. She can do whatever photo shoot she wants to do. And then she's still out there balling people.
Balling. Like, what are you talking about?
That's her brand, and it's going to help.
Right.
Candace Parker did the same thing. Lisa Leslie did the same thing.
Well,
No, I'm just saying. No, they all did the same thing.
No. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
They all did the same thing.
Well, it's a little different now.
In today's time.
Because again, and this is bad.
And it is tough because, like you said, Angel, they're young.
Yeah.
So they're learning
Think
as
about it, they are what, in their 20s, early 20s?
Maybe.
21,
Maybe even that.
Can you imagine?
19 maybe.
I don't even want to think about what I did at 21. Good God. I'm
But-
glad social media's not.
No, look, so does everybody in the NBA, NFL that played before that,
Yeah.
right? Because there'd be a whole lot of different stories if all that stuff was out, right?
And
Where's the slide?
to go with what we were talking about for our shoes,
Mhm.
I know Sabrina has hers. So I wonder how they're gonna do that, being that Sabrina has a low cut or a low top shoe.
Mhm.
I know Caitlyn plays in Kobe's. I don't really know I think Asia balls in like a mid top.
Mhm.
So she may come out with the mid top, but I wonder how they're gonna design their shoes.
Well, here's the thing. Asia, I read an article about it. She said she has really been involved in the process. I think they had to roll it out. I don't know if the timing ends up looking funny, but I think they were like, look, we got to get this out now while things are hot, while
you're hot.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But she said she's been in the process of designing it. She was waiting for the perfect, because they're called the A1s, I think.
I think it's the Nike AJ ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But she said she worked on the logo. She said she wants it to be a shoe you can wear, like
A lifestyle shoe.
yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. So they've been thinking about it. They've been working on it.
Okay.
Again, I hope it's fire. I hope everybody loves it.
Well, you gotta get the color right though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder
gotta-
how they're
you
gonna
gotta
play
get-
out with
you
the
gotta get the
colorways and
colorways right. Cause I'm not a shoe guy, but I know a good pair of shoes when I see them, especially if I like the color patterns and the way.
yeah.
The last thing, you can always talk about them other shoes that came out a couple months ago that people bought for $300.
Yo, the Trump ones.
Trump
Oh, they
ones,
fire.
baby.
Matter of fact, I'm wearing a pair. No, I'm not.
No.
I didn't wear mine today.
Like I said, them was some ugly shoes. I'm just saying. That was the goal with the slider. I'm like, stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they'll have some some crazy colorways for the women.
yeah. Actually, and
Hopefully,
you know
some
what's
more
funny?
cordial.
You know what's
We
funny?
want those sometimes.
You know what's funny about women's color shoes? Those colors are always nicer than what guys.
Yeah.
Because guys get these conservative, again, we're talking about shoes, basketball shoes, any shoes. But like I said, I've noticed like
Those
even-
dual colors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they mix there's one, a hot pink with the blue and the navy, and then you get that streak. I'm like, dude, that shoe is tight. How come
Yeah.
it come in them size, guy for guys?
yeah. Why it ain't unisex?
Unisex shoe, this is a woman's shoe.
But again, the marketing wise, and again, and they got people making millions of dollars a year at Nike and
For that, yeah, doing for that.
So they need to make something
Yeah.
because again, the guys are the ones that are going to feed this,
they're gonna
right?
feed into it.
If it's hot, the NBA players gonna start.
Yeah.
That's some of them wearing their Sabrinas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was so. Speaking of the shoes, that was another thing that was getting a little controversy because they were saying, look at the people. It's not the only people that have ever gotten a shoe, but a lot of it was back when the WNBA first started, like
Yeah.
Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Swoops had
Yeah,
shoes or whatever.
yeah.
That was 20 years ago. But they were saying, okay, Della Don got a shoe, Sabrina got a shoe, Stewie got a shoe. What do they have in common? 3 white girls,
It's like,
right?
what?
And so they were like, where's the push for Asia? Who's the best
Right.
player? Or where's the push for this person? So that was a little bit of controversy. Again, my whole thing is, are people buying the Della Dons? Are people buying Sabrinas? Are people buying
I don't know.
Stewies?
People
People go, look, that's the first time I heard of them, so I should tell you something.
I mean, I know a few people buying Sabrinas, but although
I'm just saying, but I mean,
not
it's a few
really.
people. I mean.
But you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, Sabrina will probably be the one that people buy over the other two that you just named.
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Only because why?
if you
name
can
is
make
hot.
money, they're gonna sell it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't think it's gonna make any money, they're not gonna do
Right.
it.
And I think with back to what your comment you just said, with the Sabrinas, it's also not saying they look like it.
Yeah.
But it has that mold and that shape of the Kobe's.
Yeah.
Everybody loves hooping in the Kobe's.
Yeah. So therefore.
So
you
that
get
resemblance is gonna
translation over.
exactly
Because I can actually, it looks just like the Kobe, except it's a different name on
Name,
the shoe. So
a
I
little
just-
different. Yeah.
Like, I think my first basketball shoes that I bought were I bought the pumps because of D Brown,
Okay,
right?
the Reebok
The
pumps.
Reebok pumps, little kid.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love the commercial because the little kid was in there.
Yep.
He dunks above the rim. Then my next pair was Barclays, right? The Air Max Barclays. I think that was about it for basketball shoes.
But that's what I'm saying. Nobody, I don't think now in today's time, nobody rocks the heavier basketball shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
wants something light,
Yeah, yeah,
something where they can move. Yeah.
I saw a thing on the other day, man. I'm guessing it's true. Some kid somewhere scored like 30 points. He was wearing Crocs. You see that?
No.
It was like it was like a,
I'm sorry.
it was like a 18, 19, looked like he was, a high school, college age dude. And they showed the thing. And I'm like, number one, why you stupid? Why are you
Yeah, like that's for
risking your
clicks.
career?
Yeah, that's for clicks.
Why are you risking your career doing that?
Break
But
your
evidently it was like a high level, like
Oh wow.
Hold
a
up.
professional
Did
game.
he have them in sports mode?
And what?
Crocs in sports mode.
Did he have that little hook?
Oh,
on
I'm
that?
sure he did. I think he
I
did.
hope so.
I did think he did that. Yeah.
Well, look, they being I'm sorry, I just can't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can look it up. Yeah, I saw it just
I'm gonna have
just
to
the other
Google
day.
that
And
one.
then within the WNBA, I know some other news. I know Toronto's getting their team.
They get a team?
Yeah,
So
for the
what?
WNBA.
So they're trying to
They're looking to
expand.
expand.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I mean,
Toronto,
who else? I mean, because Toronto comes, they need another team because they can't. That'll make it lopsided, won't it? So there's got to be two teams to come in.
yeah, they always bring two at a
It's got to
time.
be two at a time.
Again, I'm assuming that there's an even number of teams because I don't really know.
Yeah,
Don't
I
pay that
guess
much attention.
Yeah.
Because maybe a team folded and so they need one. I don't even know.
Maybe, but yeah, normally when that happens, they realign because then that shortens.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming they have an even number,
Yeah,
but
again,
yeah.
that's the assumption.
yeah, it's 12. So
okay.
I
So
mean,
so
one
then
more.
so it'll be them and somebody else.
Yeah, it'd have to be 14 because then they usually put one in, because it stays even with the schedule and it helps with playoff.
Well, and you got to have the marketing, right? So
Yeah.
you got to have a team in Canada
Yeah.
to try to pull them in,
Right.
which is why they kept.
yeah, they'll
Toronto.
start around 2026. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they got to get the draft and they're gonna steal players and they're gonna put people on it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be sad. They'll get the first.
well, I mean, I think expanding would kind of, I mean, not kind of, it would be good for the sport, but also, we talked
Oh.
about, you get into the WNBA and you might be cut.
Yeah, and a lot of
Right,
girls, I was watching the thing, they're just doing, so the regular season starts this week. A bunch of first round girls got waived.
Got waived. Somebody
Um,
from the Aces, I think, got waived.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about
She's
it.
pretty good.
When
Like,
your team is back-to-back champions, you don't need a whole lot.
Yeah.
no,
And the girl coming in, if she can't,
Ball.
keep up.
hey, now again, they'll go overseas, they'll play, they'll get some experience.
They'll come
Some of
back.
these girls are
Come
aged
back.
out,
That was like
and then you'll get your time.
Yeah, that
But
was like, who was I watching? She said she had just signed a lease
Oh,
and
wow.
all of that, and the next day she basically got waived.
yeah, that was her done.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
she
just
was-
like, because she was there like a day. She said, and she, how they go, oh, you're gonna make the squad, yada yada yada. She's like, okay, cool. So she went signed a lease on an apartment, all that other stuff, and all of a sudden
She was looking
yeah, she was looking
ahead.
sideways. Yeah, she looking sideways. They released
without
her
a
like,
guarantee. Wow.
yeah, they were like, yeah, we gotta release you. She was just like, okay,
Wow.
done. So I was like, oh wow, so again, and she was a high draft pick. And that's the funny thing about this league that's different than any other league, right? Because in the NBA, NFL, NHL, baseball, when you're the high draft pick, you're almost guaranteed a spot. You just have to be just horrible for them to cut you.
Yeah, you ain't getting cut. Like baseball, they won't put you on the majors
Yeah,
yet,
yeah, they'll
but
put
they'll
you in the
bring you,
minors.
to bring you
Yeah,
along.
yeah.
But the WNBA it's a older
Yeah,
player league
right
because
now.
they get their experience and that's when you get better. Because when you hit your peak years, the NBA is the other way around. It's a young league,
Right.
and
It
the
ain't
older you get,
getting
they're
younger,
ready to
it's
get
just
you out of
getting
there.
You've seen the same thing for the NFL. The older you get, the longer the tooth. They like,
Yeah,
you ain't young and fast no more. You gotta
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
So see, that's the weird. That's the part I think a lot of people don't look at, right?
Yeah.
When you say, because I mean, think about it, you're a first round draft pick and you get cut.
It's crazy.
That's sad. But you got to be a baller. But they ain't cutting Caitlyn.
No.
Man, please. Matter of fact, the talk now is whether she's going to make the Olympic team or not.
Yeah.
Because it's not a done deal that she makes it.
Yeah.
She's one of the she's the only college player that is on the list.
Yeah.
But it's not a done deal that she even makes it as good as she is. Now again, if you want the eyeballs,
The eyeballs. They're gonna
but
they want the eyeballs.
who you gonna get
Rid of.
who you gonna get rid of that's put in there?
That's already
That's-
guaranteed
you know.
talent.
Hold up. When you're talking about money, they're gonna find somebody to do it.
Well, maybe, but again, it's the Olympics. Everybody watches the Olympics or
Yeah.
don't watch it. I mean,
There
it's
they go.
that part is see, I do in the Olympics.
Track.
But I mean, you could put Caitlyn on the team and she don't even get no burn. I mean,
Yeah.
because they usually blow these teams out by 30.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But yeah, it's not a done deal that she makes it. The smart marketing move would be to make her put her on there.
I'm saying, get a big
So
watch.
how much do you think Caitlyn's gonna average? The reason I'm asking is because I know we kind of talked about, not necessarily her, but with Angel, how her game would translate, being
Yeah,
that she
the-
wasn't really a
well,
jump shooter.
Okay,
But
well,
looking at I know it's only preseason.
Yeah.
Looking at the preseason, it's not far-fetched to say that Angel could literally still average a double-double.
I'll say this. Okay.
I don't know that she
Okay, you gotta
plays
remember.
enough.
Okay, preseason. Yeah, okay. Just like preseason in any sports, ain't nobody going. Ain't nobody.
Not stupid hard,
No,
no.
ain't nobody going super hard. Ain't nobody trying to shut nobody down.
because it's preseason from what I'm hearing, right? Everybody's like, okay, because it's just more or less about showcasing your skills so
Yeah.
you can make the squad. All right, she's gonna make the squad, yeah. But now when you get in and you playing against older, as AJ loves to say, a 20-year-old going against a 30-year-old, you ain't averaging a double-double because she's stronger, she's wiser, she's smarter. Unless you just got that much talent.
Well, you got to think Cardoso's on that team too,
Yeah.
and
That's why I said that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
seeing
if-
them play,
Is there
and
enough?
seeing them
Is there
play,
enough balls? And
I
enough
can
shots?
see her averaging. It's not. I'm gonna just say it's not far-fetched. Like I said.
It's not far. I mean,
Yeah.
I said that she will get them every off, but I don't see her doing it every game.
I mean,
Okay. Okay.
I mean, she could get 11 and 10. She ain't getting 20.
Yeah, I won't say that now. Just maybe 10
No,
and 10, 10
but
and
that's
10,
what
8 and 10.
technically speaking, that's a double.
Yeah.
No,
so-
that's what I'm saying. But I don't see.
You don't
it,
see that?
but,
Okay.
nah. I mean, her
Just saying,
her effort is good, and
Her
she-
motor's
she's
so high,
Yeah,
man.
and that's what's
But,
going to help.
Yeah, see, that's going to help her. But you know, what is it? 30? How many games? 30? How many games is it?
It's like 32 or something
32
like that.
game season, which is about the same length as a college season. Literally, if you make it to the finals, right?
Yeah.
Roughly a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it'll do. I mean, again, I don't see her doing it every game, but like I said, I do see her getting it maybe, I'd say about maybe 7 times. this
Her
year,
skill
6
set
times.
isn't where it needs to be, so I don't know how much burn she gets
Yeah.
just because she doesn't have a jump shot.
Right. And it's
she's-
still developing.
Yeah, like I watched
Yeah.
some highlights the other day,
Of
and
course.
she's just getting the ball in the paint. And
Yeah, and doing what she does
muscle-
at LSU.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, the thing,
We'll see.
see, the thing about Caitlyn, quote unquote, when because I did watch clips of the preseason game.
Okay.
All right, so, and they were, you could see semblance of how they were gonna center the offense around her with ball screens and her coming off the screens to her favorite spot to the left or right. She goes left, she's shooting the 3, and nobody was there. Of course, she shot the 3.
I ain't gonna lie, I seen a lot of push-ups.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, but.
Good.
Yeah,
No offensive foul.
yeah. Oh,
Good.
anyway, they're gonna do
She's
that.
gonna get that Jordan. They better give her that Jordan treatment.
Yeah, yeah, so she's gonna get a
Hey,
lot of
you
that.
want her to get
And think about it, and then of course, and this is something the announcer said, he said, this is one of those players where you could blink and all of a sudden she's got 30.
Yeah.
Because she's hitting threes, like the guy from Oakland in the game, he went 10 for 30 and 3, but that's 30 points.
Oh, 10 for 20. Yeah.
When
When he beat her,
and
yeah,
if he can, I'm just not bringing, I'm just saying though, but he got hot.
Yeah.
If she gets hot in the game, you could blink, and again, she's shown flashes of that in college where she's had 2 in the first quarter, all of a sudden she's got 42 by the end of the game.
Yep.
So
I think-
that's
yeah.
possible.
I think her biggest thing, she might lead the league in assists.
Yeah,
Because now, the reason why she won't, there's a game the other night, she probably should have had 15 assists. Girls breaking layups.
they were terrible. They wanted her to finish.
They're messing up her daggone stat line because they can't make a layup.
He said a layup. You sound like you playing like me.
They break so many layups in that game. She hitting them with dimes, and then they missed the bunny. No big shot.
Yeah, he did say that too. He did say that her proficiency in passing is really good.
And I wonder how, because I know we kind of get more of a gauge of the training camp for the NBA.
Mhm.
I wonder how they run their training camp at the NBA. Like I know some of it, but not the full extent.
I mean, they
But
probably
I
run the
wonder
same-
how much they need to learn.
They run it the same way. It's just really short. Like the
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like- like the
what are you
window-
learning in that time span?
the window is see, and that's why you don't make it usually because they're like, look,
Short curve.
the NCAA season ends this day. The next week is the
draft.
draft. So 2 weeks from that is training camp,
Yeah.
and then a week from that is the
Playing
first
for
game.
real.
And so if you're not already up to speed, it's gonna be
Right.
tough because again, these women are coming in.
The league is
They've been
sloppy
playing.
as
They've been in the
hell.
league for
Yeah.
10 years. Kelsey Plum, I keep talking about Kelsey Plum. She was the #1 overall pick. She was the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history before Caitlyn beat her. It took her 6 years before she really was
Good.
like really doing some things. I want to say it was 6 years.
So that's another thing. God, see, I didn't even know it was. We had talked about it, but Alan just saying that just
Look like hearing it right.
hearing it. You're like 1, 2, 3, literally one.
That's why I'm like, I wonder what
Because-
that looks like.
Because see, then we talk about the other leagues in the NBA. But of course, that all relative to the amount of money you're making too.
Exactly.
So you're not, if you're only spending $74,000 for the #1 pick, imagine what everybody else is getting, right? 50, 60K versus, #1 pick is getting 40 million. I'm not wasting 40 million.
Yeah, but it's relative though, right?
I mean, it is relative, what I'm saying.
You know,
That's why
That look like 40 million.
That's what it don't even look like, but if I'm paying you 40 million, my investment, I'm gonna make sure my investment pays off. Versus again, from a standpoint, I don't want to lose any money, but I'd much rather lose 74 than lose 40 million.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work out that way.
It doesn't.
Look at Anthony, not Anthony,
Look at
what's my man,
Odom.
the number one pick from Cleveland that year,
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett,
Yeah, I mean,
number one overall pick, and it just
yeah,
didn't
it
work.
doesn't work out. But like I said, they don't cut him on the first day either because they've already signed the deal. So,
Yeah.
see, whereas in the WNBA, I can cut my first round pick.
I want to know why that pick. Why that? What were people thinking?
If you go back and look at that draft,
Oh my God.
I mean,
you'll see why.
I get it, but
Because he was
when we looked at it, it's still a few sleepers where they're still in the league.
yeah, but nobody thought they would
Oh,
do
yeah,
that
yeah,
then.
yeah.
I mean, they looked at him in UNLV. He was a 6'10" dude that could shoot. He was big. It's kind of like Markelle Fultz. He had that one great year. Everybody thought he was going to be the dude.
Yeah.
Not so much. So,
See, what did he say? We can remember the quote.
oh gosh.
The quote. He said, "The promise of what you can be is better than what you are."
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Prime examples.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
but with that, we're gonna move into our next topic. Like I said, of course, everybody's had, I know very little about the NBA, so I'm not gonna be driving this particular conversation, just questions. But somebody just won the MVP, and there's a lot of backlash. And we've noticed over the years that with some patterns surfacing as far as to who gets what and when and how.
Yeah.
Because there's only one great GOAT. He won it 3 times, and they said none shall pass. So,
Yep.
like I said, who won it? You got what? Who won it?
So Nikola Jokic.
Jokic won it.
Joker.
This is was it back to
his,
back?
his third in 4 years.
Yeah, third in 4 years.
And it's him and Embiid have been right in there. You can kind of throw Luka in there. He's been in the mix, but he wasn't really going to win it. So Joker Giannis first recently could have won 3 in a row.
Yeah, but
Larry Bird got 3 in a row, and nobody's gotten 3 in a row since then. And I feel like the voters kind of protect that, right? Just like they protected Steph is the only one ever to get the unanimous,
yeah,
which was so bogus. So bogus.
Going crazy, man.
So bogus.
Crazy.
And I love Steph, but so bogus that they basically said, well, LeBron or Shaq or Jordan, I ain't voting for you just because I want you to get unanimous.
Yeah.
And so you get one dude that votes for somebody else, just out of
spite.
yeah. And then they decide with Steph, let's go ahead and give it to him.
Because he's such a likable guy.
Yeah. So anyway,
Shay should have got it.
okay. So here's the thing.
Shay should have got it.
So here's that argument. Here's that argument. Some dudes will say that the MVP goes to the best player
On the best.
on the best team. Okay. So if you use that argument, Jason Tatum should have
As an
probably
argument. As an argument. Nowadays, he should have got it, but
No,
as an argument.
but no, if you said best player on best team, they had by 15 games the best record in the
They
league,
sure did.
and he was the best
They
player
did,
on the
they
team.
They did.
So if you went by that, he should have gotten it.
Should have.
He finished like 5th, 6th.
Yep.
So take him out of there, right? Top 3 were Joker, Shea, and Luka.
Yeah.
Luka wasn't getting it because their team
It's not.
wasn't
Little
really.
Rocky still.
Yeah,
At the time.
yeah, and for that to happen, you got to be way, way ahead of everybody else. So like when Harden won it, when the year when Westbrook did it, when he
Yeah.
was the first one to get the
Triple double.
triple double,
Or average that though.
then they kind of ignore because it's just so much clearly you were better, even though the rest of your team wasn't that good. Most of the time though, they don't even put you in consideration unless your team is really good. So in the West, 1 and 2 were Denver and OKC.
Yep.
They actually tied with the same record, but OKC got the
Right.
coin toss or the
Yeah.
tiebreaker, whatever.
The knock on Shay was that he couldn't win.
But he ain't been in long enough to win.
That's what I'm saying. So the fact that he showed you that, okay, you said I couldn't win, I can't win. That's why y'all ain't.
No, they said he can't win. Okay, so I think when they say he can't win, they're not talking about him as a person. They're talking about him carrying the team
Right, and that's what he did this year, I
Well,
feel like.
this year. But see, there's always stipulations when they say win.
Oh,
They look-
I
they-
know.
they
It's a
want-
little fine.
It's a little fine line in there. Just because you win the season don't mean nothing.
Little
They-
fine
they
print
want
right there. You got to read.
You got to look at who else is in the running, right?
Yeah.
Right, you do that.
Shea really could have won it.
Yeah.
And
But
almost would have been better if Shea would have won it, just because it mixes up that whole thing, right? But for the last 4 years, I think it's hard to argue that Joker hadn't been the best player
in the league.
in the world.
Yes.
Just of what he's been doing. The eye test, you could say, okay, Giannis is better or Luka is better. But when you look at the context of look at their team, look at the numbers he puts up, look at the historical nature of it, like it's hard not to vote
Yeah.
for him.
And and to now that you said that, we didn't discuss it, but that's probably why they gave it to Joker.
Yeah, they look
Because think about it, they were trying to give it to him last year because his numbers were better last year than the year
See,
before.
and that's where you get stuck.
And then Embiid was, I don't want to say you was crying, Embiid, you my guy when you healthy. Then they had to give it to Embiid.
See, that's when you get stuck because
Whereas if they gave it to him, gave the Joker that last year,
Shea would
Shea would have got it this
Yep.
year.
Because again, that just shows how flawed the whole thing is,
Yeah,
right?
that's all-
Because all of that goes into it. If Joker and Embiid were battling for it, right? Joker gets it 2 years in a row. But then they look like, oh dang, Joker's numbers last year were better than they were this year.
And we gave it to him.
We can't give him 3. Okay, who's next? Embiid. Oh, he scores more. He's right there. Let's give it to Embiid.
Let's talk about how his game is way different than the Joker.
Yeah,
and how he
Yeah.
dominates
So
the game.
we
in a
can't give
different
anybody 3 because remember that's reserved for third.
Right.
French lick.
So let's give it to Embiid. Now, let's say Embiid wasn't injured, right? I think he'd have been in the
In the mix, yeah.
conversation. And then you decide, do
Hmm.
we give it to Embiid again? And then that'd be 2. Or we could give it to Joker, which mixes it up. Or we could bring the new dude in,
Right.
stick him in there, and then we can start the clock over
Clock
again.
over, yeah.
Now, if Shea gets it next year because he's better,
Starts the clock.
then we got 2. Can't give him 3. So who else? So Wemby, you ready? No.
Mhm.
Luka, you ready?
No,
No.
I think so. You said was a was an early prediction. Let's go with Wemby.
Yeah.
I say early prediction. Why not? Throw it
Yeah,
out
too
there.
early. Their team really ain't gonna be good enough for them
But
to.
look,
He got faith in you, Wemby.
I
I
ain't got
don't.
faith. Look, I'm throwing a bet out $15 on
Yeah.
somebody else's money.
Yeah, nah, I don't blame you with that.
But no-
Yeah,
But I think with some of these awards, I mean, even with the MIP, Tyrese, you my guy, shouldn't have got it.
He said you
I'm
should.
sorry, you shouldn't have got it. With the role that you were going to get this year with Harden leaving, bro, like we knew your time was coming. My boy Kobe should have got it
yeah, I agree.
from Chicago, Kobe White, because what he did this year was just outstanding. Yeah, unpredictable, outstanding. So that's
Well, again, most of these.
a lot of people
awards,
ain't outraged on that one as opposed to the MVP
Yeah.
because it's more recent. But
Yeah.
I think we should be.
most improved player. But like I said, most of this stuff is just. I mean, think about it. Think about truly who's voting on half this stuff. Okay, the players vote. I get.
Well, I don't think the players even get a vote in this.
Well,
I
they-
think
I
I think
think
it's all media.
Well, see, if it's all media again, and whatever, if it's all media.
Some of y'all media people shouldn't be voting.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say, because, and again, and I say it this way because it's easy. Some people say, oh, some people have an eye and a keen eye for talent. Not everybody in the media has a keen eye for talent. Because when I listen to some of them talk, I'm like, bro, you ain't got no clue what's going on.
I ain't even
I'm
played.
like, bro, you've never played. You don't have a clue. You've been around the sport for 40 years and you still don't have a clue. Well, I remember back when we had baskets and we had to cut the bottom out. You shouldn't be on here. You shouldn't even vote anymore.
But see, there's a whole generation. So like, because the media vote, and I have to go back and look at it, but it's people that cover basketball, right?
Yeah.
But some of them been covering basketball since 1910, and
And they only know one side.
so they got that in their head.
Implemented,
Look,
yeah. Already.
You'll never be better than Dolph Shays at rebounding. You'll never be better than I pulled that out,
Yeah.
right? Dolph Shays. You'll never be better than than Bill Russell. You'll never be better than
Yeah, but that's the whole. point.
Will.
But I'm like, okay, we trying to say, okay, and y'all know I love defense. What the rules were different then. The rules are not the same then. I specifically sat down and watched the Pacers game. I specifically watched the Minnesota game, but I was just watching the defense and the body control. right? Because again, everybody knows I'm a big stickler for defense. And I was watching, I said the chest bumps and the drives and turns and the moves. And I was like, good God.
Like even
Offensive skill set, the offensive skill set is really good and it's really hard.
That's what I keep trying to tell
Because
people.
like I said, when you sit down and you watch it, I mean, because if I was a rep, I'd have been throwing a lot of flags on the defense, a lot of calls. It really would have been because I saw some straight up football grabs that they didn't call. I mean, and the guy still made the shot. I mean, I was just like, yeah, he basically tackled him from the back and he still shot the three. Yeah, that should have been an and one, but they let it go. But like I said, when you watch the footwork, when you watch the square up to the basket, when you watch the release, literally, it's that much space between the finger and the ball, and the ball goes by a guy's hand. And I'm just like, that's good defense, but that's better offense.
So
anyway,
I know with some
MVP.
examples, even with OKC and Dallas,
Mhm.
with I know there was a thing, and it was on both sides that Luka does it as much as Shea.
Yeah.
The little head, when
Yeah.
you get touched,
yeah, that's one. That's one
I
thing
know
like.
some of the refs and the players have not been calling it and just letting it go.
Yeah.
Where it looks like the offensive player looks crazy.
Yeah.
But I wonder when they're gonna start calling the flop.
Well,
Because that has to help the defense because the
It's-
defense.
It's gotta be real. So here's the
gotta be
thing.
outrageous.
It's gotta be real obvious.
Yeah. No
Because
contact
what I like, so going back to defense, right?
Like I'm hitting you, like you bump into my chest and you, like, come on, bro. Like,
See, the myth
I'm not even following you.
the myth of today's NBA is that they don't play any defense. And people I'm gonna tell you where that comes from. Number one, people that don't watch. Number two, people that are old school dudes that just think the 80s and 90s and 70s and 50s were better.
Get them. Clothesline.
And number three, people that watch the All-Star game thinking that it's real basketball. Let me break it to you. The All-Star game
It's not
is not real basketball.
It's just a
The
break.
players don't care. They are not playing defense. That's not what the league is. But people that don't watch think, oh, see, they scored 300 points
Yeah.
in the All-Star game. They just stand out, move out of the way, and that ain't how it is in the
Because it's
league.
a break.
The offensive level of these dudes is so elite that I don't care what era you stick these dudes in, short of just letting them, body slam people and
Clothesline.
clothesline people. It would be embarrassing if you stuck the average. I'm even talking about superstars. Superstars would be, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the average, just good dude on a team, you drop them into the 90s, they're probably leading the league in scoring. Because back then you'd have one, maybe two dudes on your team that were scorers. And then you would fill the rest with your job is playing defense, your job is just rebounding, your job is being the tough guy. Man, there ain't no space there ain't no room for no tough guy.
Yeah.
If we can't waste a spot on a dude that can't knock down a shot.
Yeah.
And all of these dudes
Can knock
can
down
do
a
it.
And I did see not some outrageous calls, but some calls that's not as consistent as they
Yeah.
used to, like defensive 3 seconds.
Yeah, I don't even know that you hear that's like
That's like a
defensive 3
dinosaur.
seconds is like a
Yeah,
dinosaur.
and it came with Dallas and OKC
You're
series.
like,
I was
what?
like,
It's
yeah,
like
I was like, what?
Defensive 3 seconds is like Bigfoot. Somebody said they saw it once,
And they never seen it.
but they didn't see
Look,
it
And it was
again.
on Lively, and when it was on Lively, he was like,
exactly
what?
like that.
Yeah.
You saw that a lot in the 90s, but in the 80s, you saw that. You would hear the call in the finals, and everybody knew what it was.
Yeah.
Now you're like, what?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
man,
that's one
like,
you don't hear very
don't
often.
even hear
You
about
look,
that
you don't even
anymore.
hear offensive 3 seconds very often.
I
You look at like
with
Joker
an offensive 3 seconds
backing people down.
in the last game with
Okay,
the
so you-
Pacers,
oh, no,
the
Pacers.
Pacers
And Knicks.
and the Knicks. And it was so funny because he got the rebound. He took I was like, okay, he's been in the lane for like 5 seconds. And the ref finally was like, we got to get the game moving. 3 seconds,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah,
And he's like, he turned around. He was like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
I've been in the lane for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We know. We need to get the game going.
yeah.
The look on his face, man, was like, shock.
Yeah, like they were like,
What?
what? We calling it?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
But-
but anyway, back to the MVPs. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
So with the pattern that was noticed by my man Jay over here was the fact that, of course, we know nobody's greater than the hick from French Lick. But we've noticed there's a year, you'll win it twice, but you won't win it the third,
It's
then
that
you'll
gap
win it
year.
again. It's that gap year. So the conspiracy is, per AJ, nobody's greater than the French from what? French Lick.
Yeah.
So only Bird is the only person who's ever won. Think about it, and I want everybody that to sink in. Bird is the only person who's won it 3 times. So that's Magic, Michael, right? And then
Yep,
you get in
LeBron.
LeBron,
Shaq,
Kobe,
Kobe.
Shaq. Who else? And then who else we got?
Legend,
We got
Tim
Tim
Duncan.
Duncan. I mean, right there, you're trying to tell me those guys for 3 years in a row weren't really good?
So here's the thing, right? And I talk about this all the time.
And it's funny because some of those guys have dynasties.
Well, here's the
Well,
thing.
so does the French from French Lick. So
So
I mean,
think about this. Think about this, right? So you got the MVP, that's what it's called, most valuable player.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean? And that part of it is because there's not like a set criteria, right?
Mhm.
Some people will say, okay, it's the best player on the best team. Well, that don't always help because you mad because Steve Nash won 2,
yeah, and he was the
averaging
best player.
17 and 12.
Yeah.
And
I'm mad.
right. But then people say, oh, well, Kobe should have won one of those. Guess what?
He was a sixth.
No,
in the
he
voting.
shouldn't
He was
have.
sixth in the voting.
We in our heads, we think about who we like and we think about who, oh man, he scored 80 that year.
Mhm.
But we don't look at the totality of the season. Kobe finished 4th in the voting that year. And if you go back and look, guess who finished 2nd? LeBron James. And I guarantee you,
LBJ.
LeBron from his peak years, probably 2000, let's say 2005 till,
Now.
I don't even, not quite now.
Nah.
But I'll bet you,
I'm being silly. but
I'll bet you LeBron finished in the top 3.
I say 08. No. Kobe got in 08. So because we talked
But
about
look
in
at
09.
but look at who finished 2nd that year. I bet you LeBron finished top 3
every
every year.
Yeah.
And there was a streak where he definitely could have won it.
That's the year I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The
so-
09 through
So the year, let's see, for example.
2013.
Yeah, when he was
So,
with,
so let's look at the year that
he came over.
Derrick Rose won the
2011.
MVP.
2011.
He came out of nowhere and
Right, and the
I'm like-
only reason is because they were tired of giving it to LeBron. He got it 2 years in a row. What we say? They're not giving it to you 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Who can we give it to now?
They won't give it to him because everybody hated him in the world for making that trade.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no,
he
he didn't get the trade, but the fact that he went to Miami.
Yeah, but he already won 2. He won 2 back to back. Everybody had let it,
So
everybody
you
had let it
take
go.
Cleveland population out and Ohio, you take them out. They ain't voting for him.
But see, that's it. Remember, it's not fans voting. It's the media
It's the
voting.
media vote. but see,
They
you gotta
got
remember-
tired of voting for LeBron. They
Yeah.
couldn't give it to him 3 years in a row. D Rose came out of nowhere,
came
had
out
a
of-
great year. But
Yeah.
if you go back and look at the stats,
What he doing was dunking.
D Rose's stats weren't even better than LeBron's, but their team finished a little bit ahead of Cleveland, and he came out of nowhere. We like that story.
He was one of the most unstoppable players that year. He
Yeah.
was one of them.
Yeah.
Not
He was
taking
young.
any credit away from Bron.
But
No,
was he the
he
but,
was
but was he the most valuable player?
shots, man.
No, he was the
Well,
best player on that team.
you don't think so?
No,
Dude,
you
he had-
close.
bro,
I don't
they
think
had,
without D Rose, Chicago doesn't make it
no,
there.
No, they had Noah.
And-
With Bron,
They had Noah. Who did? They had
not saying they wouldn't have they would have made it there without Bron, but I mean
But see, that's what I'm saying.
it's the expectation.
But see, that changes.
We
what
got
the-
Bron. We
that-
supposed to
That
be.
changes what the vote is about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
but
it the most outstanding player? That's who had the best year.
Yeah.
Or the most valuable player.
Gotcha.
I mean, again,
value?
it's different, right?
And it depends how they define value.
Yep, exactly. Because
You know,
again,
can
Steve,
you win without this guy on your team? And when this guy goes to another team, can he push them or will he carry them to the top? That's why KD only has 1.
but there could be 10 dudes we could name right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take Luca off of that team
Put him someplace else.
and let your boy Kyrie, they ain't winning nothing, man.
He can't be Batman.
You take Joker off of that team.
Hey
Yeah, they
Kyrie,
gotta-
he was giving you some credit.
I
before
was
the show
giving you
started,
some
though.
credit.
He was giving you some
As
credit.
the
best
greatest Robin
Robin
in
ever.
history, as long as you know your role, son.
So let me ask you this, hypothetically,
Okay.
Dallas beats OKC. Knicks beat Indiana.
Okay.
What is Jalen Brunson gonna do to Dallas?
He ain't gonna play Dallas. He got
No,
the
he's
Celtics.
got to play the Celtics.
You got to get back to
I'm
Celtics.
sorry, if they beat the
No.
Celtics.
So you're
then-
saying
Okay,
Knicks
so-
versus Dallas
Dallas.
in the finals? That'll be fun to watch.
It'll be fun to
Um,
watch, but
Dallas is gonna take.
I
that
wonder
one.
how he feels. I wonder how he feels.
He should feel good because
Anybody-
I'm the man
Yeah.
in New York. I'd have been.
No,
He
I
can-
left. I'm glad I left.
He can go up to Kyrie and be like, "Yo, man, that's
Thank
what
you.
I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on you."
Yeah, see,
But up here, I'm
Yeah,
the man.
I'm the guy.
yeah, see, when he goes over to play Boston, Boston has better defense. All right, because his weakness is, from what I watched, if you get a bigger guy on him and you make him work.
Bronson.
Yeah, you make Brunson. You don't want him to shoot a three. You want him driving to the hoop every time.
Yeah, but he's so strong. That's what he.
He's so creative in
No,
that
no,
lane.
That's what you want.
You saying making it tough for him.
No, I'm saying making it tough, but I'm
Gotcha.
saying you don't want him shooting three, because if he gets hot from three,
He's going 40.
he's going for 40, and the
He got
rest of the
40.
team is going to feed off of that. You make him work, as in you take the three away and you make him come to the lane. Either he's dishing it or he's shooting and finish it. Takes more energy to finish than it does to shoot it.
And I wonder what the percentage is on that, because usually when you get 40, they usually win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
See, I don't know. I think you want him. I think you might want him out on the perimeter jacking up threes.
No, yeah,
Because if he-
he's missing.
Depending on who you're playing.
If
Depending
you
on,
look at
yeah.
Brunson, if you look at Brunson's game,
Mhm.
he's so strong. He's bogging people up
He is
and
tough.
getting to the free throw line. Like, he's not just out there.
He's just not one dimensional. He's not one dimensional.
Right.
Yeah. See, what I'm saying is, okay, when you look at the flow of the game, when he's out there doing that
You're
frees
saying
up.
since the ball is in his hands so
ball's in his
much, you
hands so
gotta
much.
force him to the line.
Yeah, so when he's out there, because what happens is, when I watch the game, when they put a bigger guy on him, he made him work hard. I mean, just because you're bigger and stronger, if I'm bigger and
You're
just
saying
as
the
strong,
length is
that
making
length,
him.
now you have to go around my arm versus through my arm. If I'm a shorter guy, you can just run me over and do what you got.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these matchups.
The matchups are crazy.
This-
The matchups
yeah,
are crazy.
Yeah.
Because, what you gonna do? Put Jaylen Brown on him?
Why not?
If you're the Celtics? Because Drew is a little dude.
Yeah.
He's a great defender.
But see,
Brunson
then,
is just.
Brunson's just gonna body him. But see, that's my whole thing. When you watch it, when you put a bigger guy.
I don't know. I take my chances with Drew on though.
No, you got
Yeah, I
to.
take-
You got no
I take
choice,
my chances
'cause he's your
with
best-
Drew.
He's your best
Think
defender.
about it, you put your best defender on him.
But also-
his heart.
They could
In
throw
that
some
game-
bodies on him though.
Yeah, they can, but see, here's what's gonna be their downfall. They got a 7-man rotation.
Who?
New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
Hart
it.
plays every minute of every game.
I know. See, and
He gonna
that-
be tired.
he's gonna be- he tired now.
But the Villanova 3, man, they had that one game, a couple games
I mean,
ago,
and then you
where they
gotta
all
think
had
about-
20
Yeah,
something.
DiVincenzo.
And then you gotta think about if they were to play the Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know if OG would have enough stamina on the offensive end because he got to guard Jason.
Yeah. See?
He got to guard either Jason or Jalen.
Yeah,
And
that's
either
what-
one could go for 30.
Energy in her
I
body.
think what's gonna get the Celtics, what's gonna
The
get
Knicks,
the
right.
Knicks is they're just gonna run out of
I'm
steam,
telling you,
and
this
they're all
7-man
banged up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said,
I'm about to say
7-man rotation.
Jalen's hurt right
Yeah,
now.
like
I
I said,
think.
7-man rotation, man. That's gonna be tough. Because I couldn't figure out for the life of me. Like, dude, why are you slowing the game down? They got 7 people
And
running.
players that have played for this guy I'm about to name
Yeah.
have said that they run them into the ground.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau.
Mhm.
Same. Jimmy Butler said the same thing.
Yeah.
I think a few players said it with the
Yeah.
pair of Rose
Yeah.
and how he was playing.
But that's
the minutes.
Yeah, the number of minutes, because they all play. I mean, I'm telling you. that
They
whole
said like
game,
you
bro.
practice if he's your coach, you really practice hard.
Well, he might not want to do that with a 7-man rotation.
Yeah.
But like I said, if they get to, I'll say it this year. I see Boston making it to the finals, and coming out of the West, I don't know.
But you think they beat the Celtics?
Who?
No,
New
you
York-
think it's the Celtics come out?
I see Boston coming out.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
see Boston coming out. I see the Knicks winning this series because, like I said, to me, and again, I'm just a basketball novice, those games were too close and they should not have been. Not with the amount of depth. I mean, right now, literally, New York, DiVincenzo's shooting lights out of his mind. And I don't see that continuing
No.
once they get past this series. I just don't.
If you're the Celtics, do you break up JB and
If you're-
Jason Tatum?
Well, here's the thing.
Because what if they don't get it
I
done
don't
this year?
think you, I
If
don't think
they-
you
okay,
can, because you got too much money invested in them.
Yeah.
And I wish Porzingis was healthy.
Oh yeah, then it would look
Because
better. Then it would
You're
look
not
way
gonna
better.
see. Now,
Yeah, he's
if,
healthy,
let's say they make it to the finals,
they'll make it to the finals.
and they have another one of those disappear acts.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
that happens, you know what's gonna happen, right?
That's what I'm saying. They get something.
No. What's gonna happen is what always happens. Coaching staff gonna go.
If they already done
No,
that.
they're gonna do it again because they've got too much money invested in the players unless they can get a heck of a trade.
It's
Think
gonna be interesting
yeah,
because
because
think about this.
when you dump it-
You already paid Jalen,
You then you
and
play
he's
Jay
playing
Brown.
well.
You play
Now you got to pay Tatum.
Yeah.
His is coming up this summer, I think.
yeah, so you gotta pay him. So you're not getting
But
rid of him.
let's say Tatum just is horrible,
That's what I'm saying.
and Jalen is
said-
great.
Well, then you
Then do you say? Because again, I feel like Tatum is better. But if 2 years, 3 years, how many years?
Sometimes
is it?
sometimes, like you said, we talked about it before. Tatum is the better player,
yeah,
but sometimes it look like Jalen Brown is the
Yeah.
year one, like
No,
year one.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I think it's the difference, and we've talked about this before. It's a difference in the mentality. Jalen Brown has that dog in him.
Yep. Yep.
right? He ain't gonna be denied. You can see that in the way he plays. You saw the play he played last year when everybody else was giving up. He was still going, I don't care. You're gonna make me go right. I'm going right, and you're gonna have to stop me. And that's exactly what he did. Truth. I didn't see that with Tatum.
I think he just, I think
He-
Tatum settled sometimes
He's like,
for his jump shot.
yeah, he's like, okay, yeah, y'all gonna make me shoot a jump shot. I'm gonna shoot a jump shot. I'm not gonna take, I mean, mind you, from here to there is open. I'm gonna drive 20.
And I get it, Tatum. You're 6'7", 6'9", bro. You probably don't see the defender, but please drive.
But
Sometimes
see, that's what the Celtics do though. They shoot more threes than
they
anybody.
settle.
And if it's
A good day.
a good day, you like
They
to
on
pull up.
fire.
But in the
Like I said-
playoffs, when everything gets
Tight.
tighter,
You only got that. You only got
yeah.
that
Yeah.
room for
But
mistake.
see,
Yeah.
but again, but that's the difference I see. But if he does disappear, there gonna be some hard decisions. They need to make.
Man.
Money gonna be lost.
Yeah, somebody gonna be lost.
Think
I mean,
about it, man.
but see, but if they trade him, I think that means that's the signal that they're blowing it up.
And honestly, I don't think he gets the love that he's supposed to get.
Tatum
Yep.
from the league.
From the league.
Well,
Like they highlight him, huh? But then it's like, okay, let's
Well,
go
but
back
think
to the Lucas and the
but
Shays.
think about it. But think about it. What love does Tatum need? Right? He's put up good numbers, but he's not putting up 30 a game like these other dudes.
Right.
He's not-
His team is doing well because
Hold on.
because you know the team is good, and then they get in the playoffs and he doesn't do
Here we
anything.
go. Ant-Man's getting more love. Ask why.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Ask why.
Why?
Oh, more highlights, bro. What? More what? Eyeballs.
Yeah, you're right though.
No, Ant-Man's getting more eyeballs than Tatum, I guarantee.
Yeah, listen,
On social
I think
media.
it's just started to shift for
Listen,
him a little
yeah.
bit right now.
they're now
Yeah, just
promoting
yeah.
Ant-Man.
and-
Yeah, I'm just saying though.
Tatum has Duke, Boston, Minnesota is a
High
small
school, high
market.
school.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah.
They're just now starting to hype up Ant-Man. But
But
now,
that's why.
but now he has to.
He's taking on some roles now. He is
Well,
starting to take
well,
on some
But
roles.
what I'm saying is, Paul George did the same thing back when he was in Indiana.
And I was just about to say, Jason Tatum be reminding me of Paul
Well,
George.
see, I was gonna put the Paul George with Ant-Man, right? They tried to elevate Paul George to
To be-
LeBron level.
Yep,
Nah, you can't do that.
And
won't
because
that.
they were going head to head,
he
right?
want that.
So now they're elevating him. He's got all the highlights. He's doing great. We'll see. I think he's got a different mentality than Paul George.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way different.
But now let's see what happens
And he's
the
bigger.
next
When the
time.
expectations are on you.
When we expect
Gotcha.
you to be the man,
Got you.
when we expect you to be top 3 MVP
Yeah.
voting,
Yeah.
when we expect you to say,
Make sure.
this is my team,
My team.
then let's see what
Yeah.
happens. Because, we were talking about who's gonna be the face of the league.
Hmm.
I still don't know who it is because
This-
there's so much more than just your play on the court.
Yep.
that you got.
He's saying the right things right now,
Gotta get
but
a
it's
piece of
so
yourself.
much more.
Gotta get pieces of yourself away.
yeah, and you got-
Especially if Joker win again.
Well, but I don't think he's the.
He's not a face of the league either because he don't say nothing. He don't talk. He's
How you
not
doing?
a.
It was a good game. I want to thank my coach. I want to thank God. I want to thank my teammates.
I love my horses.
I love my horses. and okay.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Joker is the MVP this year.
Okay.
I love Joker. Joker don't take the last shot all the time.
Because
Well, neither
he
does Mike.
makes the best
Sure.
basketball. He's got a lot of LeBron.
But I'm
To
saying,
make the best
I'm glad
basketball
you, no,
play.
I'm glad you said that because we just credit LeBron for that,
No,
but we
used to.
don't just, no, I still do. I'm sorry.
Okay, we used to. I mean, no, but when I think when your IQ goes up in basketball again, I had to watch some stuff. To
Like, yeah, it's the
understand.
right basketball
It's
play.
just the right basketball. Just because my name is Michael Jordan,
right? There's a time and a moment for every play.
Yeah.
LeBron, all of it. I mean, if you got a wide open look and you about to dunk and you throw the ball out to the three, I'm gonna question that when it's one, you up, so you down by one with 2 seconds left and you dish the ball out to the three. Yeah, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But if you drive into the lane, everybody collapses and you got all these spot
pass it
shooters
out,
out
yeah.
there, you gotta kick
We
it
know
out.
that's the good
That's
basketball
the
play.
good basketball play. You can't go, I'm gonna muscle up this ball through 5 people because it's not gonna happen.
But I'm just saying the
But yeah,
fact that nobody gives Joker the knock as
Well,
That's because
like LeBron.
I think
Like
because-
Jamal is
No. I think that's
is shooting
because
the last shot.
I think that's because people are beginning to realize what the correct decision is. You got knuckleheads and he needs to take the last shot. I used to be one of them.
Yeah.
You know, your name is LeBron. You carrying the league. You came to this team because again, he played
Sometimes you
for
just want him to
Miami.
take the last
You
shot,
want
bro.
him
Like,
to,
I just
but
want
hey,
it.
look, you have to. Here's how I do it. You want to win or you want to take the last shot? Which one you want to do?
Right. Now, yeah, now.
Now that I'm older, because again, I used to be one of those guys. I'm not gonna sit up here and flip flop. I
Yeah.
used to be one of those guys. Why is LeBron again? Because I was hot.
Kobe will do it, but LeBron don't do it.
I was
Yeah,
hot
for
because
sure.
I was a Miami fan and they were losing. I'm like, dude, we paying you this money.
Yeah.
You came here to win the championship. What
Take the
you do?
last
Take
shot,
the shot.
bro.
Take the heat.
but
See,
again,
now-
but again, it's a myth
Yeah.
because he got more game winners.
Yeah, we
than
talked
all
about
them
that.
dudes.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
But
that's the whole-
nobody sees
but
that,
see,
right?
Again, the media does that. And again, once you
Fall into it.
you fall
Yeah.
into it. And then once you start to go, wait a minute, again, I was the same way back when I used to watch the Full Little Network and I kept going, that don't make sense. That don't make sense.
I don't
Watching
care
all
what you're
these-
saying, bro. He ain't
Like,
taking.
bro, he
I
take-
don't care what you're
Yeah.
saying, bro. He
He
ain't
ain't taking,
taking
but you know, when you look at when the media tries to push the story, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Then when you start to really dissect the game, you go, wait a minute, he's had 52 game-winning shots.
Yeah.
These other guys have had 30. You're going, something ain't right in the mix.
Yeah.
Why they ain't talking about it? Because that don't sell tickets.
Yeah. And you even look at percentages
Yeah.
and again, it's a myth, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, it's cool. But Joker, nobody looks at him as a GOAT. His stat level, so Jordan and LeBron and Kobe,
Oh, you
They-
said as a go. Okay.
yeah, they
I feel you.
get the-
I understand.
you know what I'm saying?
Like, we
Like,
do look at him as one of the best big men. correct?
Yes.
Okay.
oh, yeah.
now speaking of that, okay? So here's the people that have won 3 or more MVPs,
Okay.
all right? I might miss somebody in here, but so think about these players.
As a group.
Okay, we got Kareem,
Yes,
Bill Russell,
yep,
Michael Jordan,
Yep.
LeBron,
mhm,
Magic, Bird, Joker. It might be somebody else. Let's just go with those 7.
okay.
Where you got Joker? And Moses Malone, I think he has more has 3. Where you got
3
Joker
of what?
MVPs?
MVPs.
Okay. So let's write it down from right on the backside of this paper. Right?
Okay, so you got MJ,
Okay.
you got Bird, you got Magic, you got
You
Kareem,
got Russell.
you got Russell,
You
you got Moses Malone,
Did Tim Duncan
you
win
got
that?
Bron. He's got 3. Yep.
Yeah, Tim Duncan got
Duncan.
3. Just 3 is 3 total.
Oh, just 3 total.
Got 3
in a
total.
row, 3 total. So then that's.
Okay, so I think that's like 9.
That's 9.
All right. Where you got Joker in that list?
Because remember, Joker's only played for what, 4 or 5 years?
He ain't played that
7,
long.
7.
something like
So
that.
That's short.
8.
Short.
And his he's only like 29. So
He still got.
he's
long
still
time.
got years. Now, whether he ages well or whether he becomes Mark Gasol,
Yeah.
we don't know. Right? And so, because that's why I'm torn with Joker, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm watching him now and I'm like, this stretch, he's been
Good.
great. But if I was picking a team, if I was trying to say who do I think's better, would I take him over Duncan?
No.
Would I take him over? Now, I'm not gonna say Moses Malone because he's old and we don't really think of him. I'm not gonna talk about Russell because that's a whole, again, back in the 60s. But of the modern people, MJ,
I
Bird,
definitely got Joker over Moses.
well, that's what,
That's an older
yeah,
guy.
but you never seen Moses play, right? Moses Malone was a
Like
monster.
I knew he was dominant. I've seen
Was
like a
dominant.
few games, but I would like you
See,
said.
that's what I'm
I wouldn't
saying.
even-
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to judge him.
Because you
And
look-
just like Bill Russell, there was 10.
Yeah, I
10
know
in the
for
league.
sure I ain't watching Bill Russell.
But you know what I'm saying? But
10
But I know how dominant he was.
Right.
Statistically.
10
he wasn't even he didn't score. He was
He
just
didn't.
defense and
He-
rebounding.
Yes,
And it's team won every
he's
year.
scoring.
So it's tough, that's why I don't really put him in there.
Okay.
But Moses Malone was a monster. He was like just prototypical big man, best rebounder in the league, could
Score.
score whenever he
But
wanted.
then let me ask you this, on the flip side of, not this question, but another question. Because you know how big I am on this guy. I understand Victor won Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Why couldn't Banchero?
Well, because they weren't rookies at the same time. Banchero did win it last year. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. Banchero did win it last year.
Still, who you taking? Who you taking off the list? Though?
Who am I taking off the
Who you
list?
taking off the list, player? Who you taking off the
Uh,
list? We ain't.
Can I just rank it? Can I just rank it?
You can rank them all if you want to,
Running
or you can just say. So that's the argument, right?
Yeah.
As great as Joker's been, and he really legitimately could have won
this year.
4 MVPs, right?
Uh-huh.
In this little stretch. Giannis, before he started getting banged up,
Yeah,
could have
he
been
could have.
still. And so we forget about Giannis, right? That Joker was he averaged 30, he averaged like 30 and 15 this year. But then he got hurt and the team lost, and so now we don't think about him anymore. It's crazy, yeah. And so it's like, where do you put, because I think he's gonna get a 3rd MVP.
Yeah.
So then Giannis will be on there.
I think they'll be better next year. They got to figure out how to use Dame, and they got to get.
Well, but again, they would have been fine, but they got hurt. We'll never know what happened.
I think they
Because Giannis didn't even play in the playoffs.
So is this first one right here?
Kareem.
Okay.
Abdul-Jabbar, man.
Yeah.
That's a Kareem. Baby.
But
This
again,
guy-
it's like the old dudes is tough because it's hard to
Well, it's hard to visualize.
them
Yeah.
playing
You know,
because the skill set.
unless you see a YouTube clip.
Y'all don't crucify me for this.
All right, who you got number 1?
I ain't really seen all the old
Hold up.
folks.
We're gonna pull the knives out. What you got?
So I got MJ at 1.
Hey, how'd you do that?
I don't know. I just did this. I just pulled my hands out.
You got powers, man. Okay, hit it. All right. Okay.
All right, I got MJ at 1. I got Braun at 2.
Okay.
Bird at 3.
Okay.
Magic at 4. Duncan at 5. Joker at 6. Kareem at 7. Moses Malone at 8. Russell at 9.
See, and that's what, because again, you got the 3 old heads
Mhm.
under because it's just hard for us to.
Need it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying? Joker is about to maybe do what none of these Jokers have done.
He took Duncan off the list.
No, Duncan at 5.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see the 5. Okay,
Yeah.
I was looking at that.
Everybody else is done. I mean, Ron isn't done, but he's not winning more
Yeah,
MVPs.
no.
Mhm.
But think about Joker. He's still in his prime.
Yeah.
He got 3 and 4 years.
We'll do it again.
He might, like, it's
He's
just.
what is he? What 20s?
He's
29.
like 29.
29. So
Yeah.
he's still for basketball.
Let's say he
played.
played 4 more years.
Still got 6, 7 more years to go.
Yeah, I was about to say he got at least 7 to 10.
Well, I don't know if people gonna play. Again,
But he played a center position too, though.
Like I
Dudes-
said, he's got
dudes
about
don't-
4, 5, 6.
I look at him, I look at
5
Luka.
to 7. He got 5 to 7.
Yeah. Because I mean,
That's gonna be a
He could play at
stretch.
least- So 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34.
Because they start breaking
35.
down. At
These
35,
Jokers
they
ain't
start-
playing, yeah,
35.
Young
start
nigga
breaking
got-
down.
He got 6 more years.
listen. You gotta count.
When did Duncan retire?
Wait, yeah, Duncan was horrible his last years though. And I'm saying these dudes making so much more money,
Yeah.
they ain't playing that long. I look at Luka's body. I look at not Giannis. I look at Luka's body. I look at
Duncan retired
Joker's
at
body.
40.
Huh?
Duncan retired at 40.
Yeah, and he was horrible.
He was-
But I'm saying, so if you take 5 more years off, I mean, I think Joker could play until 35.
No, he could play till he's 45. I don't know how good he's gonna
Oh,
be.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like,
I think he can still be dominant. at
He
35.
could be like that
That's
team that
I
had
don't know, man.
Shaq on it, Karl Malone, Gary Payton. Who else they had? They had a bunch of old all-stars.
And I don't even think, I
Four.
think Denver would do the same thing Miami did with UD. They wouldn't trade him.
No, yeah.
I do not
No.
think Denver would ever trade
No,
him.
They shouldn't.
I
Yeah.
mean, that would not be wise.
But I'm just saying, like, I look
No,
at
I'm just saying, so I feel like he could.
no, he'll be in the league as long as he wants to be in the league. But I'm saying I don't see these dudes playing
at that
for
high-
those many years
at that high
because
level.
of the money. Does Joker look like he just?
But no, he did. I think he did say he don't really even want to play that long.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying. Yeah,
He
Lucas
wants to
said
be
the
with
same
his
thing.
forces.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm
They
saying?
smart though. I mean, but
Yeah, get out before you get all banged
yeah,
up
I mean,
and
think about it. I
limping
mean, okay,
around.
I mean, literally, you think about some of these guys, bro. Knees, back, bro.
And when you got, because the older you get, the more you play, you get Luka. He getting banged up now, hobbling around a little bit more.
Yeah, like
He
those-
may just need to get his body in.
Joker, it had
chest bumps, baby.
see, and do you? Okay, so look at both of their body types,
Because
right?
we talk about, go ahead.
Do you see either of them?
I don't see no type
Decide-
of definition.
Do you see either of them?
Go to a gym.
Look,
What's that?
but do you see either of them deciding, you know what, I can extend my career for 4 years. I'm gonna hit the weight room,
No.
and come out ripped.
No.
No,
All skills,
they gonna like,
all skills.
it is what it is. I'm gonna
Ain't
roll.
changing
I'm
nothing.
gonna
That's
roll.
been working.
I'm gonna eat pizza every night. I'm gonna
And-
drink beer
and-
every day.
Mind you, the Joker is skinnier than what he looks.
Oh, no,
Like,
TV
don't get
has
us wrong,
10
we
pounds.
know they're in shape, but
yeah, I'm just saying.
could they
body
be more in
type.
shape as
Yeah.
far as physically?
Look at
Yeah.
Giannis, right? Look at his.
How from when Giannis came in versus now, like
Do you
Giannis,
see, but
Giannis
do you,
was
do you
being-
see
look like
either of
he
them?
on steroids.
Yeah.
With the
and
with,
now-
with the success that these jokers are having, do you see either of them
No.
do? No, why bother?
They're like, why? Look, if it ain't broke,
Yeah,
I'll fix it.
I'm rich. We're winning.
They drafted me like this,
And-
I'm retiring like this.
Yeah. So unless their bodies start breaking down, you know,
Oh
again,
my
they,
God, that's funny.
yeah, and the way they play, it's not a high flying. So they're
I do think out of the two, Luka would have to change his body faster than the Joker though,
100%,
being out on the wing.
because Joker could just be there,
Yeah,
stand out there at the top with that.
I think Luka
unorthodox-
does so much with the ball. He's changing his direction
No,
so many
100%.
times. He has to change. his
Yeah,
body.
I think his body's gonna betray him before he gets a chance to really.
So he needs to either, go to Kyrie's house and figure out some of the
Either
things
go
Kyrie does with his
Well,
drills.
Well, number one thing, drills ain't it. Kyrie don't eat meat, I don't think. I think Kyrie's like a vegetarian or something, or I know he's a Muslim, so he's not.
Yeah, I know he doesn't eat that wrong.
He ain't hanging out at McDonald's and,
Look here,
and KFC.
I won't be doing any of that.
Yeah. Luka's like, I'm good. I'm
Be
good.
like, what? You say what?
Okay, let me ask you this then, AJ. Because we definitely talked about it. If Dallas wins it this year, what you gonna do? You didn't think it could work?
I didn't think it could work. I didn't
They
think it would
still
work.
here. If they end up winning and Kyrie ends up getting one with Luka,
He said he gonna bow to him, but I don't see that. Okay.
Hey,
Anything's happened.
Hey,
hold
I
up,
give-
what's the betting percentage? Where's the money?
yeah.
no, I'm
That's
just
what I
saying,
need
I'm
to
just
know.
saying, I'll give them mad credit if they do it. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't see it working.
Okay.
Now, they haven't gotten through this series yet.
Right, they have not.
I think
have
they
not.
will because OKC is young.
Young.
It's hard to get there the first year. Minnesota, it's hard to get there the first year.
I like Minnesota's chances over OKC's though.
I think.
As far as just no, not who they playing, but just as a team.
Can't-
No, no,
I
yeah,
think-
yeah. No, I
yeah.
agree. I agree. I don't know, man. Minnesota, that big three they got is, you got two
You got
giant
Anthony Towns,
defenders.
You got
Yeah,
Anthony
three.
Towns, don't you?
Who's the third?
Nas Reed.
Oh, I don't even count him as it. Yeah, you're right.
And then, I mean, you can
Yeah.
count. Well,
No.
he's not 6'10", but he's 6'9".
No,
Count
no.
Anderson.
But no, you're right. I mean, but you got Cat who can shoot threes,
Oh
do
my
all his
God.
things.
And how do you feel about him this year? I know you were kind of
I'm
like
not a fan.
not a fan. Okay, okay.
I mean, I respect his game.
Yeah, I know you.
On offense, not a fan. I don't think he's I don't see him. I see a lot of like, not as a player, but I see a lot of like Kevin Durant. I see a lot of, I just don't know. Now he did get, he got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, social justice award or something. So I guess he's doing stuff in the community.
Okay.
On the court, I just have never been a huge fan.
Gotcha.
Skill wise, he's
Rudy got defensive player.
matter of fact, I see him looking like, I think Towns is right under Embiid as far as
Okay.
their skill
okay.
level.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think Embiid has a lot of the same issues that I have with, I don't know if they got
Mental, are they
to,
here?
to get them,
Over the hump.
this is my team and we're gonna win a championship.
It's like Embiid's body just starts breaking down. or
I
something
think
like
his
that.
mind breaks down too.
Playing basketball for a while.
Embiid, nah,
He ain't been playing that long.
I'm
He
talking-
just
Embiid
he got a high school.
High school.
He ain't played the AAU tournaments I played in the middle school.
Embiid out there kicking the soccer ball around.
I'm a 7-1 soccer player.
Yeah, out of here. Get out of
Fullback.
here.
Yeah, it's tough being the man.
It is.
And when you
It's a
look
lot of
at people like Jordan, when you look at people like LeBron,
Be LeBron.
Magic and Bird,
Wade.
when the whole league
It's looking at you.
is looking at you to carry everybody, that's tough, man.
It's a skill and you have to actually be born with
Well,
getting these group of guys to
Yeah.
lead with,
Yeah.
well, to follow
you know,
your
to follow
lead.
you. I mean, well, I would say this. Okay, so in all sports, you have alphas, but then you need like that. What they call it? What do you call it? It's like the super alpha,
Okay,
right? Basically, and when you get him on the team, it's either, and again, we don't know the ins and outs, but you know who runs a team when you watch stuff go.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the old days, you would see like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a super alpha. He might have not been the biggest dude, but he was the
Right.
biggest dude on.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
field. You
Vocally,
knew-
vocally.
vocally,
Gotcha, I
and
see
when
what
you
you're
got a
saying.
locker room, he was going to beat you
Yeah.
up. I don't care if he was 6'9".
Yeah.
You know, so super alpha.
Yeah.
You know, look, you either get in line or you go.
Somebody that really holds everybody and themselves
yeah,
accountable.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I'm gonna hold you to the same standard I hold myself. So when those guys, and like, some of that is a lot of these guys have talent and they get coddled, right? So that part of that personality doesn't get developed because they're always being told yes. When they hear a no, they don't know how to react, right? So other guys who have that fight and that struggle come in and they go, look, this is my, this is my squad. They're paying me trillions of dollars. We gonna win a shit. You know, either you gonna get in line or you gonna be in Sacramento.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What? He's gone. And all it takes is one example. Everybody falls in love. Right. So you need that alpha personality. And then when I'm watching today's league, there's very few teams that have
That had the super alpha.
that
like you
super
talking-
alpha that says, I'm taking, or if they do have it, nobody listens to him because he ain't really that good.
See, that's the thing. That's the difference because we were talking about Udonis Haslam, right?
Yes.
From Miami.
Yeah.
And why is he still on the team?
Yes, I don't
when he don't even get to play? Because in the locker room,
He's that super alpha.
he's the dude that's like, ain't none of y'all with me.
Yeah.
I've been here the longest.
I know
I
how
might
it
not-
goes.
I might not be getting no run on the court,
But
but you ain't none of y'all gonna challenge me.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so
See,
that's
And the funny thing is, he probably can still hoop.
Oh,
In
yeah.
practice, like,
Oh, yeah.
come on, bro. You
Yeah.
know me, bro. Like,
yeah.
But see, that's the whole thing though. But see, you need
Yeah.
one of those guys on the floor to get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, because you'll look at the teams who don't help. I mean, AI was a super alpha with no help.
Yeah.
Literally.
and outside,
I don't know about AI in the locker room
Yeah,
because he led by
example.
I'm not practicing
Yeah, that
hard.
is true.
I'm not studying.
I'm
I'm not looking at tape. I'm not
did he
looking at
really
things.
not? Did he really not do that?
He didn't do none of that. I'm going out.
I'm a hoop because I got
But as
this.
soon as the
Lights
ball
Them
goes,
lights come on.
now
I'm
you
ready.
follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Okay.
You know,
So he
'Cause
was on the court.
I heard of that, and then I know
Dog, bro,
obviously
that-
cleared it up,
oh, bro.
and then I know like so sometimes I don't know if it's a joke
No,
yeah, no.
or it's like
Nah.
for real.
Yeah, I'm not practicing that. Yeah, everybody took that joke and ran with it. That's
We
the
talking
game I
about
love.
practice.
Talk about
Oh, so
practice.
that's the joke.
crazy.
Though.
That's-
That's
Yeah,
the joke.
no,
the
that-
joke was it was an interview.
The interview.
Yeah.
He told why we talking about
You
practice? We just
actually-
lost the game.
He's like the coach is getting on me because about how hard I go in practice.
Yeah.
Talking about practice.
Yeah.
You watch me in the game and tell me I ain't going hard, but yeah, yeah.
That cat's in practice 13.
Yeah. And Larry Brown was like, "Nah, man, I'm old school. This is what we do. We go hard in practice."
You're like,
He
Practice.
said, "Nah, man, I don't."
Yeah. Nah.
But yeah, but-
cool, bro. We
but yeah,
walking
but-
through, bro. We walking this through.
And then, but then you look at Kobe.
Practice.
Kobe went harder than everybody in the history of the league.
Yeah.
But his teammates respected him on the court.
Yeah.
But he didn't have no respect for them
Yeah.
off the court,
Court.
on the court. He was
Yeah.
like, "Y'all don't work as hard as me.
don't
I ain't
care.
pass you the ball.
Yep.
Hey, y'all don't work as hard as me. I don't like none of y'all.
Yep.
When we leave here after
Don't
practice,
call me.
don't call me.
Don't call
I'm
me.
not gonna call you." But that was his thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, MJ, killer on the, but he punching his teammates in the eyeball. Like, and then they get on, and then LeBron, right? He's the GM, the coach behind the scenes,
Yeah.
but he still likes to be buddy with everybody. Yeah.
And honestly, I wonder if Brian had to ever really get physical with somebody for real. Behind the scenes.
Well, no,
Like he's
look,
had to,
look,
bro.
look, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
He's
Yeah.
had to.
We
'cause
don't
it's
know.
like, I feel like it's a lot of cats
We
that be
don't
trying them.
I mean,
I
what-
would try Brian.
You think about that. You think,
Nah, I ain't.
You're right.
Look,
Nah.
Yeah.
But I
I'll
think
try
I-
him with a bat.
Yeah.
but see, that's where some of the things like people like the new dudes, they kind of don't like they don't respect him as much
Mhm.
because they always say the whole nobody's scared of Braun.
Because he's not
I
trying to
don't-
portray the tough mean guy.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
don't
bro.
know you're gonna,
My voice is more powerful than me.
yeah.
hitting.
So
Well, see,
know,
but that's what you call wisdom.
but there's so many different levels of that, right?
Well, you is guy. So who are y'all gonna hire for the coaches?
I don't know, man.
Hey, look,
I don't
I
know.
don't eat ham.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm allergic to ham.
And look, so speaking of that, before we close out, That's another thing that they give LeBron.
Funny. Oh, I'm allergic to ham. Okay.
That's another thing they give LeBron heat for, right? I was listening to a dude the other day, and they said, "You've been in the league 21 years. You've had 10 coaches." So this was my argument on that.
Okay.
How many coaches did Magic have once they started winning?
Raleigh,
Right.
one.
And then they had, so that was it. But before that, they had Westhead, and he got him out of there, right?
Yeah.
How many coaches did MJ have? He had Collins.
He got
They
rid
got him out of there.
got
They had Phil.
Yeah.
The rest of the way.
Yeah.
How many coaches did Kobe have? Only one.
one.
Phil. Right?
When he was winning, yes.
How many coaches did
Tim
Bird
Duncan had Pat,
Had-
Lip Pop.
had? Pop. How many coaches did Bird have? He had Auerbach.
Yeah. Two.
And then he had Casey Jones,
Yeah.
both Hall of Fame dudes.
Yeah.
If you got a great team, you live in a great city, and you got a great coach,
Don't go.
why do you need to leave? Why do you need a new coach?
Right.
Why do you need to argue? Ronnie never had none of that, except for when he moved around.
Yeah.
Spoelstra, you gotta remember when he went to Miami, Spoelstra was new, brand
Yeah,
new.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, Pat Riley.
He's a great coach
Now-
now,
Pat Riley was running that team.
but he never had a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
Spoelstra will be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, that's because he had LeBron in them early years. He'd have got fired if he didn't have LeBron and D Wade in them early years.
Bosh.
So but think about that. So people say, "Oh, LeBron always getting his coaches fired." His coaches ain't good. Now Ty Lue was
Lot of-
good,
lot of them ain't good.
but he got good because he had LeBron,
Now,
and
also,
he had one since then.
if the NBA stopped recycling the same coaches,
Thank you.
But that's
that
gonna
wouldn't be an issue either.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing though. I mean, and all sports do it because we call them retreads.
Yeah.
You know, they all do it. I mean, because they don't, I mean, they even do it in college because it amazes me how you always look at it. Always when a team is really winning, I go beyond and I look at who's on the coaching staff because when something changes, you'll note somebody on the coaching staff is always gone because they want a better opportunity. And of course, if I'm the head coach, guess what I ain't doing? I ain't quitting
Right.
because I'm about to get all this money. So now you got to go someplace else and make
You
a
gotta
name
fire
and then
me,
did
bro.
it again.
But you got to think about it too, right? The more success you have,
Yeah.
the more high profile those coaches are,
Yeah.
which means they end up going somewhere else.
because people want them.
So the great organizations can lose. Let's take the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Their head coach is in place.
Yeah.
They can lose or be enemy.
Yeah.
Because they just bring somebody else in, but they're good enough organization where they can absorb that.
Loss.
A lot of teams,
Can't do that.
when you start losing your assistants, the team starts dropping
Yeah.
because there was that.
And then I do know it's also harder to get men to follow you as opposed to kids.
Well, see, that's different.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
because everybody.
Like y'all pay professionals, bro. Like
Yeah,
you may
no,
get
no,
more
no.
money than me. Why am I listening to you?
No, see, and again, that's another dynamic, right? Because you have people, a lot of ego, when you really get to that level,
Yep.
there's a lot of ego you gotta deal with. Because being the general manager coach, you're not really coaching, you're managing ego.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
Yeah.
you're doing. I mean, even at
People feel entitled.
yeah, I'm entitled because XYZ, yada,
I had my
yada.
30 shots last
Hey,
year.
but
I'm
you
over
know
here
what though?
to get 30 again.
But now, and again, we talked about this while coaches are getting out, college might be worse.
Coach
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
worse.
Because
Coach
now
might
you
be
got
worse.
kids who haven't done anything yet,
Mhm.
already feeling entitled.
Now you got to be the CEO, the coach. You
Yeah,
gotta,
and you gotta find some money for
And
them.
okay, so you can take that example just before we end. You talking about the 5-star DB that's up in Colorado who doesn't want to practice but think he's gonna play.
Wait, who was that?
The DB, he was like the top rated DB.
you talking Cormani?
Yeah, I think.
Was that his name?
I think his
Wait,
name.
he's a freshman coming in?
So, he was already there.
He was already there.
He's there, but he won't practice. Everybody says, "Why won't you play this guy?" And the coach Prime said, and I'm not quoting verbatim, but hey, he's not putting in the work.
Oh,
that's
okay.
not right.
Yeah. So he was like the number one
He was
DB in the nation.
Huh.
In the
Yeah.
nations, got skills. And he said the knock on him was basically he didn't give an effort in practice, no film study, no this. I'm like, bro, you might be talented, but you got to remember when you're in high school, you may not be going against the best talent. You
Right.
come to college, it steps up. When you go to pros, it definitely steps up. I don't care how talented you are. You got to do film study. You got to know if I call Robert 2x56
Yeah.
and we run in zero
You gotta know
cover,
it.
what your responsibility is. You can't be hot dogging.
Yeah.
But
What-
also you gotta remember, you can do that. you can't do that for certain coaches though. Like you can't do that for Prime.
Well, you can't do that for Prime. I mean, like I said, but no, you actually.
I ain't saying you. I ain't
I'll
supporting
say
it.
this.
I'm
No,
not
What I'm
supporting it.
saying, okay, I understand what you're saying, but if you do that, it gotta work.
Yeah.
You can't do that
You're
and it
saying-
not work.
What, is that dude in the portal or is he still
Yeah.
at Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale?
he went back.
Okay, he
to the
left.
board. He went
Okay,
back.
gotcha.
He left, but they're
Well,
saying, why did he
hey,
leave?
that's smart move then, hey, get out, cause
But see,
you
the thing
clearly
is-
have burned your bridges here.
Yeah, he has burned his bridge, but see, wherever he goes, you gotta understand. I mean, if you're going to a Power 5 school, blue chip school, you go practice.
Well, see, that's the thing. He's gonna learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Cause if he ends up at a second school,
And he does
same thing happens.
He's gonna be.
He gonna end up playing at a lower level.
They're gonna have to go JUCO for a year.
And that's,
Last chance
but that's the one that's where the coach would be more apt to let him slide.
Yeah.
Cause he's so much more talented than everybody else and we need this to help me.
Push me over.
But if he
Yeah.
goes
And
somewhere.
you know more of the story than I do. So I
Yeah,
don't-
yeah. So, everybody's like, why isn't he playing? Why are you not playing him? And I mean, literally, I was just like, bro, you got all this. You at one of the, I said, dude,
I know the first thing my coach told me, you're irreplaceable, bro.
yeah. I mean, see, that,
I am not.
Even with the NIL, you're still replaceable.
Oh, yeah.
You take your, and again, them NIL, just like them NIL deals came,
They
They
can
go.
Oh,
go.
yeah, they gone.
because trust me, there's clauses in there that say, oh, okay, and they're gonna take that money. So now you back at square one. So you got to learn to manage all that.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the whole, we're gonna just give you $200,000 before you've done anything. I like the NIL the way it's supposed to be, where
Yeah.
you
Earn.
earn your money by your image and likeness.
Yeah.
People like you, people want to buy your jersey.
Yeah.
People want to buy what you're selling, make as much money as you can.
Yeah,
I don't
agree with
like,
that.
I don't like the whole, hey, coach, it's gonna take about $1 million for me to come. Yo, but you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
See, I don't-
Well, see, yeah, I get that part of it. I really do.
I know
mean, like,
me.
I mean, I know me, but I mean,
I
like
need
said,
2 million.
that was like the story out of Florida, where they signed a kid, they gave him 250 mil.
Oh, then they had to take it away.
No. The funny part is that they went on to what the scouting agency said. Because
Yeah.
remember, coaches nowadays
Yeah, I
don't
know
put
you-
eyes on
okay.
everybody. Right? They said, oh, this guy's a great quarterback, blah, 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 blah.
He got there.
No. So they sent the NIL stuff over. He signed it. This kid was gonna get $250K a year for 4 years,
Okay,
in addition to other stuff.
okay.
I'm like, I said, who is this kid? I'm Googling. I'm like, I'm not a recruiter, but somebody got gassed
Mhm.
or capped, as they say. Stop the cap. So finally, the quarterback coach, goes and looks at the tape. It was like, no,
Okay, work
can't
with
even
that.
work with this son. We need to find a way out. So they looked out of the contract. They were like, nah, we done. We
We get
done. They
somebody
looked at, they said, no.
Wow. So you know what? You know who I'm not mad at?
Who?
The player.
No, I'm
Hey,
not
man,
mad at him either.
Get your money if you can. But you know who I think is an idiot? The coaching staff.
Coaching staff and the recruiter.
You ain't the recruiter's fine because he probably got a little cut. If you gonna sign
Yeah,
somebody,
you can give me that. I'll give you about 10.
if you gonna sign somebody without seeing the dude, man, you deserve what you get.
Yeah.
You deserve what you get, coaching staff.
But yeah, man, I was like, well, yeah, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of that, I think, moving forward, but I also think NIL is gonna change.
Before we wrap up, we got to correct. But before we wrap up, who do you think is gonna win out the series in the playoffs?
Sorry, I got a cramp, yo.
I think Boston versus Denver.
Okay.
Taking a rematch.
Okay. Ooh, I'm sorry. Oh, God.
So who do you got Knicks beating Indiana, or you got Indiana coming back beating Knicks?
I got Knicks winning it.
You got Knicks too?
Ooh. I need some pickle juice.
I got that.
I got some pickle juice.
I do got the Knicks beat Indiana. I'm gonna go on a wild loose chase and say Minnesota beating Denver.
Really?
Okay.
I have no picks.
I can actually see it if Boston gives up another game to Cleveland. I can see Cleveland taking it. I don't think they will.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it's
Not
done.
ultimately.
I think Cleveland gets the old gentleman sweep.
Yeah.
I hope it goes longer. I like playoff basketball. It's the only time I really watch whole games, mostly whole games, and because the energy is just so much different.
And I hope Dallas and OKC goes to 7. I
Yeah.
still got Dallas really beating them in like game
Okay.
5, game 6. Hopefully they go to 7.
Hopefully. All right. Well, I have no picks other than I had a cramp.
So my mind is clearly warped at this point, and I need some potassium in my system. So with that, like I said, another great show. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe. Like I said, we're gonna be right back at you next week. We are growing the channel. Like I said, we even got some upcoming interviews that you guys are gonna be really interested in. So like I said, we're gonna end this show, episode 12. We got my man,
AJ,
we got my,
Jay,
and we got A-Dub signing off. Y'all enjoy, be safe.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Ramps.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that be watching.
That's right.
And if you don't watch, start watching.